Has this tape begun? Have you ever seen what things look like? You see the little jack in the center? Okay? Have you ever looked at eagle's nose or eagle feet? You see the animals that fly or the animals that walk on the ground are all expressions of what kind of system God set up. When he said, I built an eagle, he was actually saying the components of whatever goes into an eagle, this is what you use. This is what the eagle is called. This is the hookup to the eagle. The claws were the beginning. They went into the head. And the vibrations, however, I'm not really into it right now, but I just noticed something. Just give me a second. For those who don't know me, you see the bird? His bow tie on the top. See that? That's the last bird. That's the crow. On this side it says eagle. And it says bald eagle. Take away the B of bald, you got Ronald. Think I'm bald? You know why I'm wearing the dark colors? When I wear the dark colors, you can't see the color of my skin. When I wear the dark colors, I can go to gray, and I can see where all the beauty is and the truth. But now the truth is all lies. So it's no longer white, and cancer killed you. So white is black, and black is white. It's all a mix-up. The white people are all black. Because they played with our souls. The truth of the land is if you think in a triangle, design the Mercedes sign and put on top black, put on the left white, and put on the right gray. So if black and white meet, then they would cross over to meet gray. If white and gray meet, then gray will only become more whiter. If black and gray meet, then gray will become a little bit more darker. The dark meat and the white meat of a chicken. How the story is heard, how the story is understood, how you in your own mind before the story came upon you, how were you feeling? Did you know how to listen to a story? Did you know the situation that you would be in when you listened to the story, and how the person that you know or do not know was going to tell you a story, and you have to prepare from another point of view and listen to somebody tell you something that you might want to stop, but if you stop him, he might not be happy. You don't want to hurt his feelings. It's a stop and go world. It's the octagon. It's a chess game in a ball. But the ball is in your head. And it's not half, it's all. It's all, it's all. Does anybody want to hear the number of the universe? It's your brain. 432 of the metric code. Okay, I have to figure that out. Let me find out. 432 of the metric code would be Fahrenheit and Celsius. Right, Fahrenheit and Celsius. Football, the 5 and 10 yards, and Monopoly, 40 game, add, cross. 1 and 2 is 5, 4 and 1, and then we have the cross, then we have the center, we have the cross. We have the cross, and then we have the center. So we'd have the center and the cross, and then we'd have to cross down and go all the way across. So we don't go across and go all the way down. Then we don't square it off. So now this is what I'm going to do. Okay, first of all, let me do 432. 432. 432, okay, which is a number in music, 432. Equals 809.6, which is heaven's birth in man. Must be the war. To repeat that, to see if I bring it to a 10 world, it's 201.4. Now I got to understand 20.1, okay, is 1/2 of the 1 spirit of the board, and 1/4 of the brain. So 809.6 owns the rest of it with the body. The heavens, everything, the whole setup, 80. 80 times 9 is 7,200. 7,200 reds. 80 times 9 equals meaning. 2, 0, 0 equals 8. 8 times 0, 8 by 9 is 720. 360 times 2, 720, 2 years. It counts for 2 years, or 2 of something. Seven and 2 is 9. 9 and 2 years is 11. Oh my God. 11, September 11th to October 11th to November 11th. 7 weeks. 7 weeks. The 16th, the 23rd, the 30th, the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, the 28th, 3 and 0, 4 of November, September, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Exactly 8 weeks. 1, 2, 3, it's 8 and it's 7, because starting from the week of preparation of the signing on the 516, which equals 90, I can't tell you where I get my numbers from. I can tell you and answer your questions one at a time and explain till you understand them. And once you understand them, do you really know where it came from, as long as it makes sense now? Oh my God. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow. 26 plus 2. Wow. What is this? What is 22.8? Oh my God. 22.8. 44.24. Space takes over man, the two world. Oh my God, no good. Oh no, no, no good, no good, no good, no good, no good. I want to show you something. Mark Rowan talks about all these things, but I redesigned them from a different vision. This is the middle of something. The electricity on this is what vibrates this. These are sweepers against the glass. This is the last one. It drags down, sweeping everything over this. It's the arm length on the angle that can extend a little bit longer because of the angle. It's one facing one. Hey, I see your face. And they keep spinning around and around. There's many ways you can do it. It can screw it in, it can screw it out. Inside here is a wire that passes right through. Outside here is the form of the U, of the inside one. U and 1. U and U is 42 and 1 is 43. It equals the Baltic. It equals to the Asian people or China. Now there's got to be some good in this world. Let me explain those numbers again so we don't get off the subject. Okay? When we bring feed in, okay, you can screw it in. Okay, this is not the design of the screw. This will become the bat. This is the setup of a dice, but on the telephone face, using the same numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, except I placed them to where they are on the dice, and this one goes up to here, and this one goes down to here. But now I'm skipping over the little indentation of the valley for the jacks, because that's what the French said. I'm starting to think now that the English and the French are against each other, and the New English came out, because they keep switching these languages and the codes and all the people. They haven't changed the codes. They only can go so much codes. That's why the languages keep changing. So now they can go, okay, new dictionary number 1. Oh, we'll couple this one with this one because there's no more codes left. God left them 9 times 8, 72. You see the problem already? The 9 is missing. They gave you the heaven. The 9 is going to be burning here. But I'm 9. And you're 10. And that's why my children, as 9, will come into their world as 11 with 2 spirits, 1 on each side of them. You'll be energizing them because you'll be building them. How are we built? It's very simple. This whole system, okay, is rated with air. we breathe, okay? Automatically a baby grows a certain way. And at the end, they cover it up with a snowflake and give it your DNA. Or at the beginning where you can't really see it, but what's been passed on that nobody knows, doesn't matter what you look like. You're the way you are because what they want because of your parents. They're doing it. It's a perfect system. You see, they're making us perfect and destroying us. And because in order for the evil to live in their own worlds, they need to succeed on life. And for some reason, every 4 periods of 2,000 years, something else has to change. The last one is going to die because they didn't succeed in taking over man because the speed of the matrix that they work on and the speed that it comes in, they lose half the stuff and they can't even store it. Because God is fast. He throws it in as fast as you drive down the highway. Whatever your eye picks up. We're only human beings with a supernatural intelligence. We know how to connect. It's called channeling. Do I do it? You'd never know. You never know. But anyways, let me get back to this picture. So what God does is, if this was the train track, the electricity here in the middle that makes these brushes move and it continues down, so when it goes out, these walls reflect on these walls. This is the insulation walls, and God is the wall plus. Not only that, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I just have to do something I didn't do to start with. La 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 la. Now here's the feeder system. Okay? God is always going right down to your ass. God gets the last shit of the whole thing. They can't get their shit. God owns the earth. I was a little mixed up. Indiana, Indy 500. They're going 500 miles an hour, doing 500 laps, and you're following them all the way and looking at the signs, which are subliminal messages, which are vibrations that come into your mind, and you don't know why, and you got excited. Why'd you get excited? You know what I'm saying? You get pumped up. So when you guys go to these sports meetings, they get a rise from your adrenaline, the exhaust of your breath, something maybe that makes the clouds, but they need an extra energy of God. God owns the 4 corners. 4, 4, and 4. If I look onto Monopoly of 4, 4, and 4, and one of the 4s, okay, one of the 4s gets you, first 4 gets you to 10% of your mind. The second 4 gets you over to Ventnor, and that's your breathing cord down your throat, right to your heart, where now you can breathe into your heart and think with your head. Now you got another 4, you got electric company, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4. You get St. James, JP, 10, and 6 and 1, 17, which is the 1, 7, and 2, 0. God is all the black in roulette. Because man is the birth alive with the blood of 9, of the 9 lives of the cat. Why the 9 lives of the cat? Because listen to this. If it's the house of 7, where we're 6, and there's 9 sides to a face on Rubik's Cube in your telephone, that's 9 by 6 is 54. If we're the 9 lives of the cat, and there's 6 lines, 3 go in, 3 go out, so that's all you can do is 3 times 54. 3 times 50 is 150, makes 162. Now you reverse it. 261. The 1 and 1 is on the outside, which means the 1 spirit owns you. We don't want the 1 spirit. We own the 2. I didn't know. The 3rd spirit is us. We're the 3 dice without the other 2 sides. We're the 5 without the 2 sides. Our jail is because of the 5 dice. This sign right here, you turn it this way, it becomes a king. It's a V, and it's a 22nd letter, minus 1, that barrage of life that you had before, you put it below it. It's showing the B is open above. Take away 1 is 4, or 2 on the outside, 2 on the outside is 4. You've locked the 4 together and you've closed off, you've bridged the 3 worlds, sucking it up and back into the real Earth where Earth is. We're not on Earth. The cat, the 9 lives of the cat. The 9 lives of the cat, 9 by 6 is 54. That's the Rubik's Cube, all the things. Halfway is in between 27, the value of the center. 7 and 3 is 21. 21 plus 23 of creation is the 44th president, plus the time of the clock. When the top ends, it's at 45. This is 54, the opposite. Times 3. Why? Because the Mug and David has a connection to 3. 6 parts of a cube, 3 connections. 1 goes one way and down, 1 goes the other way and across, and 1 goes the other way. You got 7, 7, 7. Also in here, forget about the 1s. 62 and 6 and 26 is 88, or H and H. Okay? Owning 1 and 1 owns the 3 now because we're 2 and 2. We lost these 2 and 2. So they get to get them, 8 and 8. They own the heaven and the 1 spirit which is inside of us, our mind. The other 2 are to hold us up and support us and bring us back when we die. It's part of the game. You have to go back home when you finish the game. 16626 is 88. Herbert Hoover, H and H. Clark. That thing that they have, that kryptonite, really exists, but it's a little bit different. It's man's kryptonite. Okay? So you have this over here, and now you add the 31st president equals 9/11. Now you add 13 together is 132 instead of 123. Down to the piano metric code, 5 times 64. Israel and Zion, 5 times is halfway. Now they met at Israel. They're in Israel right now. They're looking to take over Iran. Iran is using that power in the ground is not for heat and electricity and energy. No, it's for the moon. God has it set up all over the world, different kinds of plants, so that we control the animal moon. It's all triangles, it's all Mug and Davids. God's in control of everything, but he has to let it go out slowly so man can handle it. So then at the end, somebody can come and prove to the world that there is a God, and we're more than just a face and a body, but we're hearts, we're clubs, because we battled it out, we dug our own hole, but at the end we were just a diamond in the rough. We're a flathead, a square head, because we took all the languages, that took all the knowledge of all the animals out of the jungle, brought it up to Pharaoh, so we should Pharaoh the land. And the Jews didn't understand, and Pharaoh was never going to let them go. But God knew. The clock struck, and it was time to leave. You were at the 40-yard line. Now you leave their land, 20 yards onto their side, onto the other side, to where you're in the other 40. Now you cross the river. So it's another 20. You get onto their land. Now you start walking 10 days at a time. 6, 1, and 3 laws. 216 hours, which is made up of 144 6 days and 96 of the other. 216, 24 for a weight to make the 24 a man. The 3 days plus the 24 is 48, and 24 is the 72, 9 by 8, 72 of the value of this world heaven. There is no 4, there is no 5, because I'm the angle of 4, because I'm the 10%, and my right is God 7, which is the 5, which is the trains. But if I rolled the 5, I would be on the trains. But next to me, in Monopoly, I'm not going to go yet. You see, it only works by channeling, you have to know a little bit of knowledge at a time. Only a little bit of knowledge. People ask questions, you empty yourself out, you take a break, you crow like a chicken, you stick out your chest, you don't fly, you got 2 wings, but they cut out all the stuff in between, we got no feathers to fly. Because the best place to be is off the ground, because there's sharks in the waters and there's predators on land. And the aliens have never left, and we are the ETs. We are the extraterrestrials. Nazareth was the passage connecting 2 Nazareths together. Not 1, 2 Nazareths. Let me write this down. I just learned this. Let's go, man. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Nazareth. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Nazareth. 2 Nazareths. Now, 2 North Americas. Canada, the USA, Mexico. This is one bundle. This is one bundle right here. 2 Nazareths. And look at the tube. Look at the tube. Down here from 7 up towards 1, you get the influx because she has no moon. Over to Pluto, bounces over to Earth to get a little Earth, and then in between they build you, you're on Saturn. Saturn is Goliath. 5 and 6 fight all the time because it's 1 and 2 and 2 and 1 to make 5 and 6 underneath of the dice. Both worlds are conflicting. Because now they're being pushed. They're always conflicting. We have to have a balance. But now I'm only a storyteller, and I only tell stories for fun, comic book-like. What I'm actually doing right now is reading to you all the programs I've ever watched in my life, and listened to on radio, and looked online, and listening to my kid, my son, my parents, and the work that I've done, and the signs that I wrote, and the things that I've eaten, and how bad I felt in the hospital, what people said to me, I decided to play a game out of it. Hoover Dam, 88, I told you before, goes to 132. Hoover, 31, H&H, 88, 911. The 119th exit on Highway 117 connecting to 15 equals 132. Mont Tremblant. White Face Mountain. Whiteface Mountain, Mont Tremblant, Montreal, Blanc means blanche, but they also say high color for vanilla. Vanilla is like white. Oh my God, there's more than one white. Oh my God, 2 whites, 2 blacks. 2 whites, 2 blacks. Yellow, blue. Triangle, gray. Triangle, black. Gray, white. White, gray, black. Black, gray, white. White, gray, white, black, black, white, gray. Now I gotta go here. Okay, now I gotta go gray, black, white. Now I add this, then I add this and this, then I add this and this, and then I added, okay, this is what happened. This is the Monopoly board. I'm using colors for positioning. Black, white, gray. Gray, white, black. Railroad tracks. White, black, gray, gray, white, black, white, black. Yellow, blue, 2 whites, 2 blacks, 1 gray. 1 gray. There is a true blue, and that's Neptune, the pen. Neptune is the pen of the earth. He designed it with his blue pen, for his blue sky. He did quite well, eh? What an artist. You know what I'm saying, eh? I'm a little crazy, but it's a ball. What page are we on? It doesn't matter to me. Don't ask those questions. Take down your notes. You can rewind this video, but I can't rewind myself. It's a constant flow. I'm already stopping it because I have a reserve and I'm learning to open up. Right now, 6 more connections. The last dice, the 7th one, I say goodbye to everybody. And I say hello again right away. It goes in one nose and out the other, in one mouth and out the other. The 6 sides of the connections, once you build them for your own storage, now you have to learn how to send them back up, or the energies of this earth were stealing from you the space. You have reached an age, 49. 4 by 9 is 36. The 36 and 36 makes the 2 parts of the baseball. At 36, you're no good for anything. From bar mitzvah to 49, you're just like a woman. No one's going to change your mind anymore. We don't need that. Because when you reach 6.6 billion people on this earth, you forgot to look at the other part of the Christmas clause, right? It said one of. They borrowed, they rented this land to grow who we were and do what they pleased, as long as it was in the 200 laws, as long as it was in the 10 laws of the 10 laws of the 10 laws of the 1776. The law of the Spirit, the law of the gate, the law of the gate and connecting bridge into the second world, and the law of man. And that's to follow the Bible. The righteous one of the only God, leaning left and right, making sure you got to that energy that was really connecting you and leaving you alive. If you lean to both sides inside your head, if you come back to the center, you've made a decision. Now you're a little messy and you look a little dark, but you know what? Your decision is brightening up the light, and tomorrow will be even brighter for you. When you connect the last one, you are completely connected to a secondary matrix, which is a black box between Rubik's cubes that hang up in a V. We're hanging up in a V. They put a V, let me show you. Okay? They put a V, like that. A V and a V on top of each other would create the diamond, okay? So they connect these 2 on each side, though the roof is higher. But we're only in part of the chalice. We're only just one of the 3 other pieces that it took to make up the suits, but the diamond counts for 4. See, in the deck, you have 4 suits, 91 points for each suit, 364, in which you have 1.25 days left over, in which 288, which is October 15th, which is EXO, 10th month, 15th day, 10-15, the O is the 15th letter, it's EXO, it's 11 days after my birthday. 15 in the moon, 15 in the moon, or 16, the one spirit of 6, 15 in the moon. From the 15th day is 16 days left, happy sweet 16. And then 4 days later, when you create the 4 sides, creating 4 by 9, 360 from squares, because you're going around, you don't really care about much. All you care about is making sure that the fence holds all the cattle in. That's all you want to do is hold us in. So let me look at what I had. So you're hanging over here and here. One world down, one world up. We're upside down. We don't know it. How are we supposed to know we're upside down? Because we walk this way, but we don't think that way. So we're upside down. And we should be thinking upside down. So that number I told you about, and that's black, not only that, but there's 40 in Monopoly. You have 4 corners and the trains, okay? But forget about the trains. You put electric this way and this way. Jesus Christ cross. Then you put the trains that go around it, okay, that fill in the gaps. You need to get on the train, you need to get off the train, and you need the electric in the center to give it to both trains. Then you take the electric on this side and you put it to this side to the parking lot and this side to that parking lot, getting on and off. God owns 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 4. He owns 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2. Let me just say the last one. The last one is go, is 4, made a mistake, 4, and stop. Okay, now when you come to the end, every corner is 4. The train track gets split from the center to the left to the right. It has to be surrounded. So it gets 2 to the left, 2 of its train track, and 2 to the right. 6. 3 train tracks, 6, 6, 6. The last train tracks makes the G. And you've gotten around the 4 in Monopoly. Okay, the 4 in Monopoly. It gets you to the electric company. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, it gets you to St. James Place, which S and J, which is 10 and 19, is 29. It brings you into the 2 world of 9. Not into the 1 world of 9. You are the 1 spirit inside the 2 spirit. Actually, God is not the 2 spirit. God is, He's the 4. God is the 4. God's got to be 4. God's 4. And you know why He's 4? He never goes to jail. 4 times 96 equals 360. 4 by 6 is 36, equals 396 ESP. 4 by 96, 5 by 96. 96, 48, 24, 12, 6, 18, 42, 90, first DNA strand is God's. Man has man has 9 and 9. Man has 9 first DNA strands of God. It is 10 for the completion of it, of your birth, and then it comes into 9. So when you're already at 10 and you go to 9, you're at New York. New York is 555. Okay, when you go all the way to 9, you go over to 19, which is the moon cycle, 57. And G, C, D, GCD, 7, 3, 4. He's the 7 God of 3, 3, and 4. 7 by 30, 30 is 210, and 7 by 4 is 28, 238. Creation of the heaven. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 equals 4. Wow. What 4 can do for you? 10, 10, world, 7 and 13, worlds, 7 and 7. So let me see, did I not do something over here? Did I leave something out? No, so the way it is now, I want to show you something else before I go back to the Monopoly, is this over here. Doesn't that look like the spaceship? The shuttle? Doesn't it look like the shuttle? They own the moon, my friends, you're right. I think they were on the moon, but not on the moon they're supposed to be on the Lindsay moon. Lindsay in French, live, Z, and then when you say Monday backwards, it says the demon of Monday. The day, questionable, to the piano. Could be the source of Halloween. Why Halloween? 10th month, 31 days. You get to the Mediterranean, they beat you. All they want to do right now is get to the Mediterranean. What is going to make it for them to get to the Mediterranean? in Iran or wherever it is, that nuclear war, whatever that is, that's a communications center. I can't believe anybody fell for that trick. What a dirty way to play, my friends. To try and use that energy that can kill everybody to create a source that they can get so much easier from around the world. All the U.S. has to do is ship in a couple of $1 billion because they spent it on the war. It's all about communication with the moon. The faster the communication, they won't have to go off of God's strands anymore. But now the moon is in God's lake. God owns the lake the moon is on, so it cools on the bottom. That's why it's always turning different colors. The real moon will be like a mood ring. When you're mad and nasty, when you look at the moon, you'll see something different than me. We'll all see something different in the moon, only to reflect off of the colors of life. Because right now, we live in the greater black world. Monopoly is 40, plus the 3 parts of the train that our 4th train is 12, is 52. The 8 heaven. Barack Obama, an 8, 52. 8 and 12. 44 plus 8 equals 52. 40 plus 12 equals 52, which equals 104. 10-4, everything is perfected at 10-4, because at 10, you're 6 away from 4, you're 4 away from the next area, you 1 away from the train track, so you can get on the train, or just walk through the station, which is the brain of the bullseye, get to the other ear, and you're on the Mediterranean. That's why in Monopoly, they tie those 2 properties together. That thing I was telling you about 2-3-4 and 4-3-2 and it's a cycle. It's a cycle. We live between 1 and 5. Okay. Well, let me explain it. Okay. This is what happens. This is what happens. We live between 1 and 5. Okay. 4 and 2 is 6. So that's where we are out here. Okay. Playing above all means. But the 1 is always opposite to your dice and always pulling you back into the train station where the cross of Christ is. They are the creators behind you. Your 6 and 3 is 18. 18 by 6 is 60 and 48, 108. Jewish heaven. I repeat those numbers because of how I just spelled out the situation. ACE is 135, ACA Delco. You got the electricity, you got the trains, you got the blockade fences, so nobody can come in and get you off the trains while you're riding to Auschwitz, so you don't get killed in the furnace over there. Okay, of course they killed people in the furnaces. Are you kidding? They were building and killing no people in the furnace. They were killing very little people in the furnace. What has happened is they made a gene, a new gene. Okay, they call it the Jupiter gene because they stole something from Jupiter many years ago, and they try to recreate the Jew. Aldous Huxley, who they laughed at, Aldous Huxley, that they laughed at from out where the Germans, Einstein came out and set up the Second World War. Told us about genes and how everything was actually working. Then they went 501 Levi's. I just told you, 501. You're in between, you're wearing them and then wearing you. 1 and 5 is God. He's the 1 and he is the 5. He is the B on the telephone. 1, 3, and 5 is the only ace up your ass and is the only one coming in from the top of your cocoa. So if you have ace in a cocoa, you have a 10 God, because that's what the cocoa looks like, and that's what the ace looks like, and that's what they value it in cards. The higher the game, the more it fits into my definitions, and the higher the value of my expression of the explanation from within. Whatever I will explain, it's only from within the thought of my connection from wherever it is. What's the difference? It's just an idea, just like you want to talk. So I'm talking. So, I mean, the 7th inning stretch in baseball, when is the World Series? I need to know the World Series. I'm going to be looking. But before we go to the World Series, we're going to bring you back to a play-by-play on Monopoly. So we're playing Monopoly right now. We're at the football game, having a beer. We listen to this crazy nut that's in this video, and he's going to show us how the Earth works according to Monopoly. But wait a second. Football, and 5 minutes. Football and 2 minutes. Because 5 is on top, 2 is on the bottom, creation is on the field, and all players are now worth complete 11, 3 and 8. The pig, the flying pig. don't eat the pig. I was eating the pig and eating the pig and eating the pig, but I had a reverse psychology while I was eating the pig. So I go into their system. I either turn out A, great, B, like most of them, C, too old, D, too young, E, too small, F, too big. Well, I'm 5. And that's the average of 4 sides of the dice. I'm 5'7". That's the tallest you can get. I'm a 5'7" guy that's looking 7 foot 5 feet tall. If you add it up, I'm almost 12 feet 7 inches. Makes 19 of the moon. 1, 2, and 7 make 10. Father, mother, and F, the face of man. What was behind the face, but who man was, it was regardless of what he did. But is regardless of what he didn't do, is what makes the interior of that face again. I can't let anybody tell me what to do. So we're moving on. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get states, James Bond. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get to relax on free parking. We look to one side. We say, shoo! New York Avenue. Wow. N14 equals New York Avenue 14, 1 and 4, 5, E, the 5th letter that brought you here. The wing brought you here to 5, plus the 2 spirit made you 7, 5 and 2, but you were lying on your side because 1 and 6 was running this world. But you're 5 and 2, you're odds and even. The other one is only 1. It's imperfect. It can only be in between. So she's faulty. There's 3 in between the 5, in which the 5 and the 2 is. So there's 2 backing up on one side, and on the other side there's 3 backing it up. And when you add 5 to 8, 8 and 2 makes 10. So it makes it perfect. The 10 world, the 7 world, and 13 world. You take the 13 to the 7, it makes the 10-10 world, but it's not a 10-10 world because you don't own your creation. You were created 3, and you were created from 3. And the 3 that you were created from 3 was 9. And then you were created from 2 parents, 18, in which one gene was 2, 36. And then it was you, 72. 72 is 6 times 12, the 2 sides of the 2 parents and yourself. 12 times 12, 144, plus the 10 God, 1,440 minutes of the time of the day. Tick-tock. The mouse ran out the clock. I got a mouse here in my hands. But whatever it is in my head seems to know that the story I'm telling makes a little bit of sense. And it's also to watch a good movie. Wait a second, there's a commercial break. Honey, yeah, they just had Budweiser. But no, they didn't have Budweiser. It wasn't the Budweiser beer. They were talking about the horses in the racetrack. Because the horses remind you of that. They remind you about yesterday and tomorrow what you're going to do. Because the survey was, and the night before, inside the dreams of your head, they put these little things in the dreams of your head. So the next day you wake up and you do something. And they notice through the dreams, that the survey said 39% wanted to take a shower in the morning. So now they had to put a song that was going to lead them to something else of the 39%. They only have 4 quarters, but they only get 3, because they're the world of 3. God is 3, 2 above, 2 below, 1 above. 3, 1 on each side protecting you. The Martian. This is a Martian, my friends. I don't want them to follow me. I have to follow the path of the God. Rest firm like the Indian. Be nice to everybody. And that means everybody. Stay away, stay away, stay in your house and make videos. You need your face, you need a replica of yourself. If anybody should pick you up or take you away or knock on your door, you have no choice. If you fight, they think you're crazy, so you can't show that you're crazy. But it's all their doctors, so you can never win. That's where family comes in. And right now, I have all the viewers as my family. Forever appreciates anything I'm saying. It's a very sad time in my life because my mind is already free. So wherever I go, I'll always have the signal. But it wouldn't be nice that we always know at the end of the book that God is going to take us back no matter what. That's what he says. The Christmas clause, you scratch the paper as an animal in the forest. Under the jungle up, my friends, with the Jamaicans smoking weed, the monkeys were smoking weed, you were swinging from a tree. Hey God, make me a monkey again, but I want to walk on the ground, so make me a Cro-Magnon monkey. They moved them in from the pilots, the pyramids above. The world is upside down. It's all icicles above running off the pyramids. It's an elaborate system that works off the lower salts in order to bring life and the ion of life. And it just recycles all the time. It doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's in the bubble. That's why we got to turn around, because there's brushes. I showed you brushes in here. Every brush has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You're in the sixth world. One from God's side, one from the other. Because in this brush here, you have another brush, which I didn't show you. They both get to touch the walls. They both get to learn from the energy. But they're touching this wall left, which is separated. This line does not go through, from this line here. They're both looking from the same world. Okay, this is the evil, this is the good. They come down the same road together. These are the uprights in football. You score through here, you get 3 points. If you run underneath them, or you run in front of them less than 10 yards, you've run into God's territory. He's the touchdown area. So within 10 yards, it means you went back to heaven. Either you're connected or you're dead, and you're connected. My friends, this is so amazing. These are feeder systems. The outside is the U and the U. You see the U here, the 1, U, 1, 5. 1 over here, 6, the penis of everything. This is God's spaceship. You know what this is? The sperm and the egg coming together. This, you see who that is? This is the Indian leaf. This is the sweeper in here, but I'm showing it to you now with a thin line instead of a thick line. You see the way it looks differently? The bottom one I turn the other way, okay, because this bottom one here and here, it ends. Where the feathers, when the feathers start to turn different in a different angle, it ends, okay? And the reason it ends is because the bottom feathers are sweepers. It's a bird, okay? It's one of the birds, and it's just expressing God made an animal for what he did to cleanse your mind and for sending the message so that the purity can never break down. Because God knows at the end, he owns the upper and lower worlds. The other world comes in here. They rent from him, and the rent is to take care of us. Well, did you have fun? Aren't you having fun? Getting laid, yeah, going out, but you didn't like it because you're married. You got laid by the wrong person. It was your choice. Now, in the pot of choices, and you have 1, 2, 3 shots at chance. 3 shots, you have 4 on the dice. One of your dice is going to hit a 3. 4, 8, 12, 1 and 2 is 3. So you're either going to get a red one, the electronic chance, or the red one, or the pink one. Taking a chance just before Oriental, the biggest scam in the world. Oriental, all slaves, everybody's a king. Anyways, I was showing you Obama. 52 is the Mayan calendar, so we have to remember that 4 and 6. 4 is only 2 worlds, okay, because you're sending 2 strands here and 2 strands here, which is one here, and this 2 strands here, 2 strands here, and then this one's standing up from there. It's going to go down the center. And this is also an octagon up here. These are 10 and 10 worlds. Then they split down to the Magan David, and this changes, but it's still the same thing. 104 is Casino War. 104, I think, is 40 degrees, the end of the game. 25, 6, 25, because the in-between here is 6, and the in-between here, so it's 25, 6, 25, but the Mayans said, this is us. We're the reindeer nose. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, because we know better. We know better. I'm going to end this video right now, and I don't know why I get this, whatever it is, whatever you pick up from it. We're going to go on in Monopoly and just move it a little bit forward in Monopoly. And in Monopoly, if I go, I get the free parking like I mentioned before, and then I get to Illinois, land of the nuts. Thank God. They say if you eat nuts, you'll be okay. The peanuts, what it does is God has special ingredients in this world that if you eat, drink, do or do not do according to who you are in your mind, open up different vessels to be able to bypass the evil in this world. It's a game. It's a game of chess. 8 by 8 is 60-40 chessboard. Horse can only make it around the corners. But if he has to go 1 and 2, he's in the corner. If he has to go 2, he's going through the corner. The horse can't go nowhere but on a train. He goes once onto the train and 2 forward. 1 in, 1 up. 1 out. But you don't count. But you do count it, but it's on the opposite side of the dice. 4 dice. Now jumps over to Illinois. And then goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and now they're on Waterworks. Now she's on Waterworks. 28 days, 1 month of the moon. The moon is full. She's gathered the information. Who's going to buy me? I want the biggest bidder. Who's going to buy me? Who's going to buy me? I'm water out for sale at the information. The power line is coming in from the Christ and the trains are on the side. What are we going to do? Because when you go 2 beside a train track, and I said 2, 2, and 1, half those are not even properties. That you end up on the chance. You end up on the right. You end up, and here it goes, and the sale is up. Yes, 1 more, take them on in, and a ball, and a 75. We got to take it for 1, 1 of 6, 1 of 6 and 2, 1 of 6 and 2 and 1, and 6 and 1 and 2. We got $30. Is anybody going to bid for the information of the month divided up by 4 parts? We got 4 parts for sale in the moon this month. And since we split them up into quarter, we got 8 parts. And then there's me who knows the whole story, who wants to buy the biggest piece of the pie. So we got more than 1 player in this world that's doing this to us. They're located all over the world. How many of them are they? How many of them are us? Well, they're 500,000. We're 6.6 billion. Makes 7.1, makes the queen and the king. A and G, got it. G, J, and K come after. The A comes after the J, means the J owns the A. The K comes after the A to say, says the K owns. Okay. The K owns, okay, JKL. The K owns the L. The L is she. She is Saturn. And that's Jupiter. And she owns her. Do you know how? Because the mind is in Venus. It's all the mother who did this whole thing. The father's only been in her heart. Venus owns Saturn because Mercury is inside of Venus and gave her the heart. So 6226 is now Saturn versus Venus and Venus versus Saturn. Who's going to win? Is it going to be 6 plus 2 is 8 and 2 plus 6 is 8? Hoover down. A very bad Halloween. 2012. 6 minus 2 is 4 and 6 minus 2 is 4 and you've got 8 and we minused it because we went the other way this time. So 2 and 4 together makes the 24-hour day of man, and who's going to win? Herbert Hoover, 44. Now we have 8. So if we move 8 from go, either we're on the 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 Oriental, which is just starting before, 1 time around life. This time 8 is no good for you. Or we go on the pink and the red, Cancer, which is the best story in life. Then you go 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you get Pennsylvania, the Liberty Bell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you get Indiana. If you went by 4s, you get 2 of the reds, you win the reds, you're winning the blood. New York and Kentucky are the Kentucky Breds. God owns those corners. Now we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We end up with Pacific. Then we go Pacific Avenue, which is 1, 6, and 1. which is the spirit, the one spirit of 6, which is the opposition spirit, and then the one spirit of God, and the one spirit of God is worth 10 plus 1, and 1, because he's the first 2 dice. And then we go from Pacific 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we get Boardwalk, B and W, number 23, and number 2, 2, 2, 3, Life of Creation. We busted out. We're not playing for blackjack anymore. We're playing for one more. We don't care about the money. We care about the fun. And the fun comes from the mother. And the fun comes from the father. We don't know anything. This is an animal we live inside of. We were given the minds of an animal. We were given the heart of the loving of the God, the 2 spirits. The 2 spirits. Well, I buy so many things. The 2 spirit of the 5. Now, if I had another dice, I'd show you the 2. Now I show you the 3 of the 4. This one cube owns everything. The first cube is 21. The next cube is 21. God owns this first cube, and then God owns the next cube. Then God owns the first creation cube. 1, 2, 3 cubes, 18. ABC. Now the other team goes, and they own 1, 2, 3 cubes. 10, 20, 30. 6, 6, 6. 48, 48, 18, 18. They're in a bigger cube. Oh my God, it's got too big for me. But Monopoly is everything. You finish one before Monopoly, and the corner value is 4. So it's able to go 4 back all the way over to reach to the question mark. It cannot go from go to jail I can't read it what it is, and the yellow, you can't go there because it's the other side of the mind. God has a triangle from free parking to go and visiting jail. You play on 1, 2, you don't even want to even go to free parking. You don't even want to get anywhere past the train tracks, which would be number 17, 18, 19, 20. 17, that's the only place you want to go, is you just want to get off the train to take a peek in St. James Place, or at Virginia, but that's really all you want to do. And then it says, well, since I live in this area, then the Orient is the red dragon, and then the Orient is on our side. And the Orient will be plunging in to help us. That means the Russians have to come in to help us. So that's 2 parts of a baseball. Who's the one in between? It's the Middle East, in between China and Israel, is the in-between of the 2 horns of the bulls. Not the ends that were out for the information, but the ends that were picking up on the information is between China and Israel. That's what the setup is. That's what the setup has to be according to numbers. And I told you, all this thing to do with nuclear, it's for communication source. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's powering up higher and lower with to follow the source. But if they go too high, they got to warm it because God's spirit won't cool it for them. He only will cool up to a certain level, so they have to do all kinds of things. And that's why these nuclear plants always blow, because God, whatever God did, he went one step, and then he went 4 steps ahead of everybody, and went 1 step and 4 steps back the other way. He made it 10 before anything happened, and he chipped out a corner. So nothing can happen. So we're all backed up all the way. Now the only place we're not backed up is the feelings we have in our hearts, and the love that we have that we never knew, that when this time is going to come very shortly and you start to see it, you're going to question it, but it's all going to be a joke. It's going to be like a rumble and a burble. And then you're going to take this one, but it's time for the matrix. Once they get your hearts all down and you lose faith in God, that's when they can shove their energy in you, and you become the air that you breathe, that sends out the message that will open up the final gate, the 9th gate. When you open up the 9th gate, my friends, when you open up the 9th gate, okay, you see this line that didn't exist before? Well, now it exists. Now you're bringing this side of good over to this side. Here's the sweeper that turns around. Now all these arms can move and turn upside down and gobble up now and sweep up and suck it all up. God's protecting you here, but if they cut off this line, the whole thing dies everywhere. Everything shuts off. You cut off that valve, everything is gone. It's the pit of life, the pituitary gland. You cut that off, the evil loses everything. Even your end story of thoughts that you get to do in the heaven to finish it off. They never have your final story. The final gram that's in your ear that goes out into the sky, because they can't clean up. That's why you win in when the slot machine's at 98.6, because it's the 1.4 grams or 1.4 ounces or whatever it is that comes out of you at the end of your death that is sent away as the last story. Now Mother Earth eats it up and you can't figure out where it is. That's why you brought detectives out to start to learn through the rest of the story how Mother Earth lives. They don't own this. It's in a baseball. It's a baseball and a soccer ball, and they all came together, and you look around the world, and you look around, if you really have a keen eye or you're an artist, design, outline, take away the color, follow some lines, make it structural, design it in a rectangle and then in squares, and then a diamond shape standing up looks like a circle more than anything else, so it brings the confusion to the X, the plus, and the cross. The Monopoly has 40. The train tracks, when you bring the cross in, it adds 4 is 44. Barack Obama is the 44th. When you put the octagon dead center, that's where God is, because that's where everything operates from. God is dead center. Jupiter, 44, ends up to be 54 plus 2. Because it's 54 for the game of love, 5 and 4, 5 to get the train and 4 to ride before it and just jump over everything else just to get through life. 5445 is the number of Jupiter, 11 is the number of our game. 1 and 2 that made 6, because 1 and 2 made 3, creating 4, that created the other part of the 3, the reflection of the 3 to make 6. 10, 4 in CB codes. I was born on the 10th of the 4th, 18 and 18, 36, 63, Jupiter. I was born, Jupiter is 36, I'm 63. Jupiter's with a J, and J plus me is the 9, is the 19, I'm born in the 1900s. 19 and 63 is 82. TH, time heaven. 62, 52, 44, what number were we at? 63, 53, 43, my head is on Baltic. My head is on Baltic and in the time heaven, because that's where the horns are. Baltic and the Mediterranean. There's a chance, okay, now I don't know what it is. There's a chance that the Chinese are going to come in, and there's a flux of good Jews in there, being that energy of God still, and the Hebrews have a secret that I'm going to release right now, because I don't know if it's true, that if God is the 2 world and he plays 5, okay, the Hebrews set up 1 in the center, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, making sure there's 2 up and 2 in front. For every piece of square mile there is in Israel, Israel knows, under their own sector of the law of the clause. They weren't going to come there unless they couldn't follow the law of the laws. To bestow, they needed a Jew. There's 2 sets of Jews out there, I don't know which one it is, that they bestowed in them through underneath their breath that they should follow the Torah and put it into the air of the 1/4 of spirit that comes back through the 1/4 of spirit it should gain, which is my left hand. So we should be 2 holding 4 hands, but at 3 it's all much better. You get 2 energies, 1 from both sides. And at this point, you're in a triangle, and you just scored a goal, and there were 2 assists. The guy in the center felt both ways, pushing and pulling in the puck to the one who scored. That energy, he pumps his arms in the air, he goes, yeah. But in hockey, they go, yeah. Everybody else goes, yeah. You go, yeah. It's number 1. There's only 1. If you take a number 1, okay, you want to see what 1 does? Okay, here's what 1 does. 1 special. You want to see 1? 0 and 0, it's an 8. You want to see what 1 does? I'll show you another one. Here's what 1 does in 7. If you turn it upside down, it actually looks like a 4 if I move it over, or a nose of a man and somebody's sniffing in the wick of the other piece below that I purposely made larger to show you. It's a big candle, but it's the wick right into your nose that comes out of your mouth is the thought. It's the encrypted ways. When you speak out loud, it gets re-encrypted inside your mind. You have absolutely no idea, but you're thinking about it. If you take number 5 and you put a 1 in it, you see, man was happy like that because man knew he was 5, 2 above, 2 below, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, not 360 degrees, plus his birth, 90, 450 degrees or 450 days, 225, 225, 9 by 25, 9 by 25 for 2 words for the AX and the O, the value of 10 Roman numerals and the O in the English alphabet. Inside the 5, okay, is this. This is God's world. This is God's world. We don't play with these straight lines. This straight line doesn't belong here in this world. God's the stick on this side and the stick on this side. He turns everything into 8. Now you got 4 windows. The cross of Christ. Every time you draw a 1 over an angled lexus, like a 7, you create a 4. If you take a 4 and you sort of round it a little out towards your coming in and put the line through, it'll look like a jack. The other thing I want to show you is really and truthfully 5's up. He's got 1 here and 1 here, 1 in the center, so it's 2 to 1. But they're trapping you in the center. This is 1, and this is 1. Let's do it different. This value is 5. But from this and this, these 2 values, this is 1, and this is 3. This value is only 4. But it came from up here, which wasn't counted as 2. So now this value is 6. This is only 1 line. 6 and 1, and 2 is 3, and 1 is 4. 6 to 4. The number of Israel, 64. The number of Zion, did you understand that? 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 is 6, and 3 and 1 is 4. Oh my God, Barack Obama and Hoover Dam. Oh my God. I'm going to let it go right now, let it slide. There's a lot of things. Did I tell you how many places there were on Monopoly just to finish? What you have to do is you have to put electric company and the waterworks. The waterworks has to pass underneath something to go somewhere, and something has to go above the ground. So you have to design it inside the Monopoly board to work this. Okay, I don't know how it works. But everything is on straight angles. Okay, this world is on an angle. It's not straight. It's on an angle. So I think the dice are telling the truth. This is the truth to the world. We're on this angle, trying to live this way. So it's hard to get the spirit up this way when it's always like this, right? So Monopoly will have waterworks and electric company, both of them going through the board. Giving it that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different designs, or 22 properties. Now you have 22 value of the electric, but plus 1, because the water, is that free flowing, or does we need the water to make the electric, making the electric minus 1? So there's 22 for each is 44. That's Barack Obama. Now the energy is high in the sky. We got to catch it on a glimpse. It's not going to be a full moon where it happens. It's going to be a funny moon where it happens. A full moon means it's full. When it's half full, it can go half fuller or half or emptier. So half or full. It has space enough to do something right now. 2 weeks. November 4th. So we have 22 on each, except water comes from, electric comes from the water, so we send out electric to its own area, and that would make 23 and 22 would be 45, and then the water also works on electricity now, so 23 and 23 is WWT. Why the T? The T is the transformation of the spirit inside the water, in the electric. It's going to be in the air. The chemtrails have gone off, but the babies only started to be born in 1991. 91-19, 10-10 was the new world for the evil world. My son was born just in there on the 9th of December, 21. one of the first ice cubes of the 3. December is our month, eh? December, September, October, November, December. January, February. March, and that's it. April, May, June, July, August don't exist. 5 months are gone. 5 months are gone. 5 times 30 equals 150 plus 2 is 152. Wow, I got the same number again. But we have 7 months that are 30 is 210 plus 7. Now there's a 150. Ours is 7. 7 months, 7 times 30 is 210 plus 7 is 217. Because now we're in it now. We're the value of 17 times the 2 is 34. O-N-E, our birth. O-N-E is letters. 1. That must be the whole world. That's what it must be. 1. The many ways of 1. Because when you make 1 and you put it next to a ball, over here, if you look at the line it's extended to, it'll stretch out a little more and look like a 7. But since it connects here and reconnects on the other side, creating the N, which is supposed to be a little ball in the center. Over here. This, just flip it around the other way because it becomes the sweepers again. They open up these walls. This, you see this and this? Okay? And these two, they push forward and this wall comes out. It has to be cleansed. That's why we drink water. The chicken legs are yellow because it's us. It's us. It's our energy from Christ. And you know what's funny? I'm not sure which way it should go. But we drink fast, we eat fast, and we move fast. Is that the difference between us and the monkeys? That we're able to get the energy inside our bodies a lot faster through the cyclone system that they use, like the new vacuum cleaners that they have out? We're a superior being, regardless of who made us. It looks ugly, man. But if you walked into that office, and that guy got up, and he shook your hand, you had a drink, you told some laughs, you told some stuff, and then you went bowling with him that night, he was nice. And you went into the office, say, what's going on? He says, I have no secrets. And he tells you what's going on. Oh, you're changing the human DNA. Yes, okay, pretty cool. What's going on now? What kind? Well, you know, there's something at the bottom part of the barrel that we can't tell you because it's still in the mix. We mixed up this, this, and this. And in the diagram it says, we're looking to get this kind of man. And the only kind of words we're going to understand, a man who can lift a little bit more, some kind of backbone that can twist like a cat, and you know, that he can bend over and relax like a monkey and just grab any banana and be happy with his own stick. So, but that's what the thing is. I think there is more than one. They rattle us off. The minute it comes to the waterworks, when the moon empties out, the full moon to the small moon, all the companies around the world are bidding for the information of what we had. And it comes in when they give you flyers and you do checkoffs and you give your groceries, and your groceries have, you want your points, sir, and you fly in a plane and they know your name, you gave an ID and you have your driver's license and what time is it and how many kids and what time you're going to call, what time is supper, what are we going to buy, when are we going to buy, do I have enough money in my purse, am I going to use plastic? When the bill comes in, I have to look at the price, I have to go to my mailbox and get the paper, go upstairs to see what I have to reorganize into a life that doesn't really exist, but if I don't make it work, then my life won't exist at all. So we ride high and we fly when we make the money. When we don't make the money, you're not in the top 3. When you don't make the money, you're no more control. 4 and 4 is 8. God lives under 888. You can't beat 888 because the 8 is the heaven to the left. The 8 is the heaven to the right. He's the 8th of 888, 1776. And we're in the beehives of octagons now, and it's all octagons, and it's all beehives. And the yellow honey is surprising every man now. The golden bear. WD-40, Walt Disney. It's good enough for your cards. It's good enough for your kids. Superman, to hope one day you can go up and fly as high as you can. Oh Lord, I want to be a Superman. You don't say I want to be an evil demon. You are an evil demon by thinking that way. Because evil demons have a code. Why don't you read the fucking book? Don't you know how it works, demons? Don't you know how this works? When you go into the, I don't know, where's my book? Give me this book back again. I don't like to talk without my book. Evil, good. Gray. Good, gray, evil, gray, white, gray, black, okay, and then we got black, and we have vanilla, and we have yellow, and we have brown, and we have green, and we have grape purple. Now what's funny about grape purple is it's just like the chicken's hat over here. What happens is the blood gets burnt out, like just like burning a log. It's the tree. You've got to follow everything. The tree grows, tree connected to man, goes back to the Torah, boom. Fire goes into the fireplace, burns orange, just like the sun, no problem. It's turning black, now it's getting more heat, now it's turning gray, and it's almost white. And now it's good, but it's over, so it's bad. So the black was great, and now we saw black. We saw the beauty within it, then it's to purify again. So good, evil, gray, black, and white. Octagon. 8, 8, 8, and 8, 8, 8. 9, 8, 8, 8, 9, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. No, 999, 888, 999, 888. Oh, but it didn't matter, I made that mistake. Because the 9 and the 8, all you have to do is add on a little line and you got the 9 again, so, I mean the 8 again. So now you got 888, 999, 888, 999. So, because God is maybe he's the one spirit angel, but the number 1, the number 19, and the number 10, and the number 28, okay? God is the one spirit of the angle to his DNA. That was the final plug, his DNA, the code, the code. 888-999-888-999. Should I put 999 on the outside? 888 is 24, 32 is 5. 999 is 27, 2 and 7 is 9. So that would be verse 2, 222, 111, 222, 111. Now if we bring this back to Monopoly, 222 is either at the train tracks and it makes 2 L's, and this would reverse to 333, 333, and then 333, and 666, and 666, and 666, 666, 8, 6 and 6, 6 and 6, 6 and 6 is 12, 6 and 6 is 12, 13, 6 and 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13, okay, now 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 6 and 6 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 3, 2, 6, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6, 4, 5, 4. 2, 3. 3, 2, 3 equals 7, 8, 7. 7, 8, 7. I'm going to stop right there because it ended up on 15. And 15 is the end because the originality of everything is the one who God is. We is the black 10 inside the game of roulette. And he is the black 28. He is not the one. The one is red, is not on your phone. It's an explanation point, a sautage to move your mind 3 steps forward. Because the 3 steps forward, for the 1 back and 2 forward that you go after you move the 1 back, getting you to the first spot after the next spot. When you have 2 dice in the next spot, you only have 2 dice that roll 2 and you can't get the next spot, so you end up on 1 and 1 over from the 1 back you went. You understand? You went 1 back, and you couldn't go back to the next one. You had to go 2 over, but you were there, so you went to the next one. Anyways, so now we're left with this number 787, which equals 2. 8 by 7 is 56. 8 by 7 is 56. 8 and 7 is 15, equals 71. 8 and 7 is 15, equals 71. Because 7 and 1 are both the highest and the lowest on the dice, I close it right there. Equals to 142, equals to 7, equals to God won the game. The 71 and 17 equals to 34, equals to 7, which equals to 1. And 1 and 7, 34 is 7, and 7 is 1. It's an east-west line that turned it into 7. The lines that caused the difference in everything. Every time there was a line on a different level, it caused that area to show that number, because it's easier to see when you walk into the room. And it's not even that, because it's all electricity. So anyways, so this 4 by 4 is 4 by 5 is 20. 4 and 5 is 9. 29, February, once every 4 years to recalibrate our minds. 29 and 29 is 58. It's a representation of the ones area. 1, 10, 19, 28 equals 58. But in the game of life, God, it goes in originality by the letters. T20, W23, 43, the Baltic. O15 is 58, 2. 1 and 2 add up to 58. 58 and 58. You add them together, it's 116 or 11.6 because it's the JA God of F. Here. Whoops. Arjatha. I don't know what it means there. It's Arfa. A-R, J-A is for God, the middle name, and then Fa. That's what this means. It's actually the K letter and the F letter. Does anybody know what K and F does together? Let's see. Let's see what K and F can do. Because don't forget, this is electricity, okay? This is electricity, don't forget. So the lines have to match. Okay, now you tell me if you like this design. Have you seen this design anywhere? Here's the K, and I put the F. But, should I have put the F this way? Because there's more ways to design this. Where's my pen? I must have 100 pens here. I'm going to design the K a little bit different. Now I'm going to see if I can... Here's the K. Because this world is on an angle, they're fucked up. God's world is not straight. Because he counts the long way. Just like your TV. This is the K. Now when you want to draw an F, now the F is in the other world. So that's the Christ Spirit. So you now got to draw either the one or the two Spirit of Christ. The three creation. Outside or inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it inside. And I'm going to just go one to here. And then, well, I didn't do it in the center, so I don't know if this is going to come out. And I'm going to redesign it. I'm just going to show you the final, the whole thing at the end. Came out really bad. But if you look at it, the F is over here, right? Right here, from here, goes here and here. Now you see it's like a little duck. This is the K part over here. But the straight line of the F came out of here. I tried to design a fish, but I was trying to do it too quick. So it designs the fish, the K and the F, because K and F is 17. It's number 11. You see, we're in the 7 world, and you got to go 6 and 5 to make 11. You have no choice, because 11 and 17, which is the key to hook up with God, is 28. No one gets in unless you're 28. Whatever the 28 might mean, 28 months of the moon, because you're not 1 month old yet. You haven't made the year. How old is your son? He was just born. How old is your son? He's 1 day old. How old is your son? He's 1 week old. How old is your son? He's 2 weeks old. How old is your son? A couple of weeks old. 3 weeks old. How old is your son? Oh, he's a month old. Oh my God, how old is your son? He's 2 months old. How old is your son? He's 4 months old. Wow, he's a big boy. He must be 2 years old. No, he's only 8 months. Wow. And he's starting to walk at 1 year. So now you're calling everybody, hey, my son is starting to walk. Oh my God, he just fell down and hit his head on the corner. Oh my God, he's bleeding. Oh, I better take care of him. Give me a minute, I'll be right back. Oh my God, he's now 3 years old. He's going to daycare. And when he came home, he saw a nice girl. He's already horny. They got this one set up straight. He's going right to school to teach the rest of them. One of my nephews is caught up in this right now. He doesn't even know it. A very smart kid who's doing exactly what I'm doing for the greatest of all reasons, but what's coming out of his head is going to end up in the wrong person's hand, because whatever his mind thinks, it's going to be transformed to somebody else in Braille, encrypted, re-encrypted to the single cell. She runs from a single cell, the octagon. She runs from one cell to the next cell to the next cell. So when I keep saying we live in an octagon world, I didn't say we live to the same cell world, or we're in a spider web. It's free roaming. It's the outside of your house. Okay, if you keep everything good in your head, it's the outside of your house. You're going to be fine to walk and fly and do whatever you want. And when you don't keep the inside of your head proper, when you get outside the house, you might just end up walking in front of a car and coming right back down here. Got killed from one world into a world of corrections. The world and the numbers I came up with comes out to 88, also comes out to 176. Now, even if you're not following me, at least my head is heard. It's 176, and what we're missing is 1600, because of the 40 times 40 on the Monopoly equals 1600. Now you have 200, and then you have 200 from 1600 again, which is the one spirit of 6. The one spirit of 6 is not possible, because it's not supposed to really be said that way. It's the one spirit of 6 because it is the one spirit of 6. We're 3. The add-on of the other 3 made it 6, so we're one spirit of 6. No in between walls, just borders. God's 2 of 5, making it 3 and 3. 6. So he's got what's in between. She's only got one heart. God's got 1,000,000 hearts, 1,000,000,000 hearts, 1,000,000,000,000 hearts, 1,000,000,000 hearts. Wherever the land travels, he's got a heart, and every one of those hearts in the animals are hurting for us right now. They feel what's going on right now. They know what's going on. How can they know? Well, it doesn't matter. My rabbit ate, my cat ate, he climbed up a tree. How did my cat know how to climb up a tree? All I did is feed him food. He climbed up a tree, he jumped down, he got laid, he made babies, didn't say a word to anybody except feed me and I'll go, feed me and I'll go. So how can they know if they don't know? If you don't think they know, please, Planet of the Apes. Oh, the truest reality I ever thought of, I was scared like shit. Not anymore. So we get to 1600, okay? And that's where you usually downshift or upshift on your truck. But the 200 and 200 is in between the two sides of the fields. It's 20 and 20 yards. The other one is 40 yards. 40 by 40 is 1600. 200, 50-yard line, 200 by 5, 200 Monopoly, both ways. You're going 16 Monopoly both ways, crisscrossing over. Take away 2 from 16 is 14. It's the passage into this world. The middle is 400. The outsides are 32. The middle is 400, which is the 400 of Moses, plus the passage is 100, plus, let me see, This is 400. This is 100. This is 400. 400, 500, 500. Switch sides, 505. 5 has engulfed the secondary world. We're not going to lose. I put up 2 bridges, one at the beginning when Moses left and one right up now. And the answer is 505. When you go 505, the 5 owns from 5 up all the way to short line, which is the passage where Jupiter comes in. Now Jupiter, nobody can go into Jupiter because God's hand is there. And he sits with a stake over in the next one. And don't forget, he's one before, he's one after. So when 5 sets up a stake, he ends up at 7. And the other one ends up at 7. So he's a total of 6 further out and 6 further out. Now you pick up the dice, and you look at the dice, and all you see is 6. The best the evil world's going to do is your memory and your mind. 10% of the story, of the history, of the tree, of the family, of the entirety of whatever you breathed, smelled, and did is over because of 606. So when you have all 6s, it's equal. When you have 606, God goes out and he shoves 6, and now he owns everything. He's the black corner of a tower that were connected together. I was going to say in another video that the twin towers, okay, are also, could be the reflection of black and white, because it should have been one of each, number 1. But there was something else in the world that the Eiffel Tower, it's only one, and they don't use it for anything, or do they? You know what I mean? Okay, I'm tired, taking a break. Thank you very much, Raphael 7286. I'm just telling you right now, if you want to look at somebody who's really got the good numbers, go look at Mark Rodin. He's a very intelligent man. He's soft-spoken. He's good-hearted. He understands that he can't slow down too much because he has just too much information and knowledge, and he has to make sure he puts up his blockade, because when you get knowledge like he has, they're going to want to know to share. At first, they'll be nice, because in this world, you have to be nice at first or evil doesn't get to have any candy. Be a nice boy, good or evil, you don't get any of the candy. So don't forget, you always have a hand up on them. No matter what they do at the end, without showing their evil face of the demons, and if they did that, God comes right away. So they have to do it in another way. When I look at my screen is crooked. The only time I'm straight is when I drive. You know why? Because I lean on an angle when I drive. I see everything straight. I go 4, 3, 2, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million kilometers. And now they might revoke my license on Monday. Monday is the 15th. X, and when X meets O, 10th month, 15th day, 25. The choice of my revocation of my license will take at least 10 days to the 25th. To mail me back a piece of information will take 5 days, but then we'll have the weekend, so I can only get it on the 28th or 29th. And I could get it before, but I must run by the time that was given to us in all the games. So we don't skip anymore, we stop on the 29th. What day is it? 27th. Let me see this. I started on Monday. It goes to the next Monday. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes on Monday to next Monday. 1, 2, 3, complete. 1, 2, 3, Saturday. I don't get it Monday. Monday's the demon mail. You take it on Tuesday. And between the 29th is 59 and the 31, which is 61. Those two numbers say the Pluto and the Jupiter are coming back to play ball. Number 14 is coming back into the ballpark. Now we have 4 more days. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days of silence. But not actually, because on the 4th day, you're going to be singing a song. You're going to have to look back in TV history, and there's a commercial of something that's going to happen. On November 4th. Now it's 8:43, 26 seconds after, where I see the 2 hands of the clock of all the lines that are passing by the clock, and the letter seconds, and the letter hand, and the second hand is also going, because I put letters where my seconds are, so I can see the 60 seconds that go with the letters. 60 seconds alphabet. 2 times 25 equals 48. All the letters in the alphabet. F. Do we save F or we get rid of it? Because we're going to get rid of letters in the alphabet, you know. 8, 9, because it's not an H heaven anymore. It's a different world. It's completely different. It's an O heaven. Like the water that brought you here. Like the water that falls. Like the water that brings the electric. Only an O heaven can be done. And when you say that, it says oven of Auschwitz. The water is the only heaven. Because everybody's out for the best. The Caribbean. Raphael 7286. If you do not understand anything what I'm saying, I'm writing a book, so we're down to chapter, I think it's chapter 4. I'm not sure if we're into chapter 4 or 5 yet. But sometimes when I do a chapter, somebody else writes a chapter. I don't get to see it, but when I write my chapter, I'm actually writing their chapter. So then we're overlapping and we're seeing each other's information. It's called channeling between the stars. You have no idea who you're talking to, who's telling you all this stuff. You're just doing it. Because your vibrations picked up what you should know from the other. It's going on all across the world. It's been going on for centuries. But many of us, and we were split up over time, you have to break up the time periods. And because the earth, like the egg cracks open, and then it's got to make a swish. You got to clean up, man. Sometimes you just got to go every spring cleaning. Spring is 4, times 10 God is 40, times the 10 days, the 10 laws of Moses, 10 commandments, 10 commands in one, or in one. You got 400, then you got 4,000, and you got Jesus, and at that time, 4,000, he would have been 4,000, he would have been 263 years old. Oh, that's crazy. It becomes 126 again. Jesus is born in 3 BC. And I think Mary had a son in the manger. Jesus, son, manger. Jesus must have been dropped off. She didn't even have a baby, I don't think. She may have wanted to fake it because when she mentioned God, it was terrible. And everybody was after her a little bit. And so she put stuffing in, nobody would know, so she stuffed herself. Mary stuffed herself. God's child, Christ. 2, second coming. Mary Magdalene. 3rd coming. Mary Frank Zar Rai R It Sky. That is the 3rd coming that brings on the 4th child, the golden boy. And that's where we're going to leave this chapter. On the 4th coming, they had the queens, they had the kings, but in the good and the evil world, you always see the comings. We're talking about Christ, we're talking about Mary Magdalene, and then we're talking about Mary Ranik. I'm not saying it exactly where you got to make it out. And the other one is the Tsar of the Sky, the King of 54, the IT God, 54, my grandfather, who owns the space in my book, and I'm writing this book in honor of him, who powers me with this energy to be able to reflect on life, go in and tell a story, and find truth within the numbers that I can explain it well enough that at least one may understand. All has begun by 1, and 1 is now 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and the game has begun. because every time it goes up a rank, you go from a child to a man, to a father, to a grand piano, to a great, and then to something else. You have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 25 equals 150, plus 25 of you, 175, plus the 25 of God is 200, plus your family circle of 25 is 225, plus the surroundings of what God owns, which is now 100, is 325. Now you have to add in the little sticks for the game, which would be 5 and 2, 3, 2 and 5. 5 and 2, 3 by 2 is 25. And that's what we're missing for having 366 days a year, and every May 1st is 222, 122, 122, 122, 366 days, 188. Raphael 7286. Thank you.